Today's episode is sponsored by Fume. F-U-M-E. F-U-M-E. Fume. It's nothing. It's so Marxist. It's the easiest thing to have a sponsorship for, and it's the easiest thing for you to be sold on. You get nothing. It's just fumes. Catch as catch can. You just go out and you find some fumes and you go and you smell them. Fume. It's literally nothing. Oh, it smells like pepper. You just open up a thing of pepper and you smell and probably get pepper. Be careful you don't get pepper up your nose. Today's episode is sponsored by Fume and Tit Box. Tit Box. It's a tit in the box in the mail. You like fume, you want to pretend like you're smoking, but you don't smoke, so you just smell fumes. Well, now you can suck on a tit. It's transparency. The only sponsors I like are transparency in advertising. Fume. You get nothing. It's Marxist. It's like vaporwave. It's like Marxist. You get nothing. So tit box is a tit in the box in the mail. It's a rubber tit, and you put it in your mouth and you suck it because, well, nobody's getting tits unless you have them or unless you're growing them. But you know, it's so hard to afford hormones. Every month you get a tit in the box in the mail, or you can just buy it one time and then they put a rubber tit in the box in the mail and they send it to you, and then you suck on it. Which brings me, it's a perfect sponsor for today's episode. As you saw in the title, adult pacifiers. I used to get blowed a lot. Is that maybe like the old-fashioned thing? I know it's gross and I'm against God. We're not supposed to, wasn't married to any of those women. I used to get blowed a lot. I did. It was like one of my most favorite things about being alive. Hey, I'm not special. That's all. I'm just a man. And there was, you know, I had a couple of beautiful women that were all too happy to oblige that they would take my thing and put it in their mouth. Now, adult pacifiers. People aren't even blowing each other anymore. I understand because of the disease. I don't know if I want somebody who in 2020 had that done to them. But this whole adult pacifier, you think, oh, this is because we went into lockdowns. Everybody said, stay home, stay alone, be isolated, be terrified, take a bubble bath, stay online and be more terrified by horrifying things. Make a TikTok smolder reels, what do they call them? Make a TikTok, I can't remember what that's called, where they give like they give like looks, like look at how sexy I am, and they give these looks. Give a TikTok feels reels, whatever, I can't remember what the hell the shit's called. You graduated maybe on a live stream and they're traumatized and they're going back to the tit. I'm gonna need this. Go back to the tit. Am I allowed to do this? This is just like a completely innocuous thing. This could be anything except that it's a tit and it comes in a box in the mail, and you can probably rub your thing on it or rub it up against your bean or whatever. LGBTQ friendly. Everybody likes tits. Gay guys like to play with them. You're lonely. It's a fidget titter. You like fidget spinners? How about one of these? How about this? Ho 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 ho. So anyway, you can breathe in the plastic fumes. It's sponsored by Fume. F-U-M-E. Fume. So, as it would turn out, and this is very interesting, the whole adult pacifier thing, I looked up videos, like I have to do research on this. It's been a long time. You know what I mean? I cannot advocate for fornication. Like, you're not allowed to, if you're not married, she can't do that. You can't let anybody blow you. I just want to say that up front, because God knows. God knows. So, there's videos that are 5 years old, and one of the ones, it was from 2019. It said, not mine, I better be careful what I say. It was from 2019, and it said, their adult pacifier collection. It was somebody showing you their selection of adult pacifiers. I was like, can't you just like go buy them like a 99-cent king? I know they're probably toxic from there, whatever. They have, whatever. You worry about the feminization of microplastics and estrogens and all that stuff. You're sucking a binky, okay? And that's not a metaphor, it's actual pacifier. So who cares if it comes from Chinese poisons, okay? But no, they're expensive. These are for adults. This is the adult market. And it's not a new story. At the beginning of August, I saw this story where it's that's when the story came. It was like Fox News or something, and I don't watch Fox News. I don't like them. I don't associate. But it was on YouTube, and they're like, "Look, adult pacifiers are back." Now recently, it's like trending on TikTok, and it's in the algorithms. So what are they gonna do to us next? They want to like, here, shut the fuck up and put a pacifier in your mouth and clam up. Is this a coping Is this copium? Is it a coping mechanism for people because their gal lost the elections or whatever? It's like, hey, just shut up and suck on your pacifier because you're done. They're taking money away. You're not gonna get your hormones. And you know, a lot of women shave their heads because they're like, I'm giving up men. And they made, you know how women are, they just have a rash notion, and next thing you know, they're doing something about it without counsel, without brooding or anything. Like, I'm just gonna go do it without thinking about it at all. You know, it's like, aren't they great? So they shaved their heads, and now they're sucking on their thumbs. They're sucking on pacifiers, or they're lonely, and nobody wants to. You know, there was a video I made. It's already out, and it was called "Men Aren't Approaching Women Anymore." And I said, no, men are approaching women. They're just not making the women that are complaining about it on TikTok because, well, they're complaining about it on TikTok. They're obviously not being approached because they're like that. And the guys can look at them and say, wow, I like the way that looks, but I'm not going to approach her because she's one of those crazy ones that probably makes TikToks and I don't want to be in them. Which also probably equals really hot in this sack. Just saying. So, not that I would know. So, it's just a certain kind of woman that's complaining that men aren't approaching them. So they're not, you know, oral fixation being what it is, and daddy issues and stuff, and having a pacifier when you're a kid, and it all equals blowing a lot of dudes. So like, you know what, I better stay home and stay out of trouble, and they're like just suck on a pacifier instead of like blowing mad dudes, you know, which means a lot. So like, I have, you know, like, how do you get women to stop doing that? Suck your nunny. So they call it regression. People are stressed out, everything's expensive, nobody wants to pay for these women. I know I'm being crude and crass and rude, and I don't really think about women in a derogatory way like this, but it's funny. We're doing a comedy bit. We're trying to relieve anxiety and stress. So anyway, nobody's getting blowed. All right, that's, you watch the video, you can watch GIFs. Whatever you want, loop, perv loops, whatever. So how do you keep a woman out of trouble? An adult pacifier, because as it would turn out, the majority, because I have numbers on everything, so we all know immediately. So in my research on the adult pacifier, be careful if you do an image search for that adult pacifier, you're gonna see somebody put stungas in their mouth, right? So don't search that. I have no idea what the thumbnail is going to be for this video. Well, obviously it's probably going to be some repugnant person with with a pacifier in their mouth, or some kind of weird dude or whatever. So anyway, adult pacifiers, here's the facts. It's mostly women. Since that story aired at the beginning of August 2025, they're selling like 2,000 pacifiers a month. Is that worldwide, or is that just American in America? They're more expensive for adults because they make them bigger. You can't just have a baby's pacifier in your mouth. You gotta have a bigger you have an adult-sized pacifier in your mouth. What about marriage? What about waiting till you're married? How about that? I guess that's the problem. I guess that's why they're putting pacifiers in their mouth. They couldn't wait till they get married. And it's mostly women. It's mostly adult, I think Zoomer women, and it's global. It's not just in America. They're doing this all over the world. But I remember, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that properly. I remember the club kids in the 1990s, they were getting high on ecstasy or something, and they were sucking on pacifiers. It wasn't just like gay dudes, like as code, like, hey, look at me, and the guy's in the club and he's on a pacifier, and it means he, like, hey, he's advertising that he blows dudes or whatever. It wasn't just that. It had something to do with being high on ecstasy and rubbing up against stuff and having a pacifier. Now they call it age regression, age play. I guess that's an aspect of it too. But it's, people are so stressed out, they're like, oh shit. And they're just going back to sucking their thumb, but they're still watching like videos complaining about shit. TikToks complaining. They're doom scrolling on pacifiers, and it's mostly women. Real women, not, I'm sure trans women are doing it too. I saw a video with that. It was a dude with a pacifier, but he's dressed like a lady. A beautiful lady. It always works. It's always convincing. Ruse. That's a joke. People are f***ed up. Can I just say that? I'm sorry that I said that to you. I'm sorry that I said the F word to you. It's sad. People are shitting themselves and they're so stressed out and they're ashamed. They've done too many slut walks and they're ashamed and they're just staying home, and instead of blowing anything, they're sucking on a pacifier, they're doing at work, they're thinking about dick all day, and they're that's terrible. That's heartbreaking. But it's happening. So if you go look up on YouTube like 1990s club kids, and they're on a panel of some kind of like daytime talk show when women were still at home, like there could be some women at home, welfare moms or whatever. I know that everybody has, everything's fucked now. But they used to have daytime talk shows, and then the women would be like, at least that's not me. Or they'd be like, huh, I think that's me. I should try and get on Jerry Springer's show. Or Jenny Jones. And Jenny Craig, probably. So, well, at least they're staying out of trouble, but it's sad. It's gonna mess up your teeth. I knew somebody, they got horribly teased and they called him Bucky, and their name rhymed with Bucky, so they got, I'm not gonna name them, but they got horribly teased growing up because they had really bad bucked teeth. And then they grew up and they blossomed and became so handsome, and they started going to the gym that I saw this guy physically unnerve women in an electronics boutique, and I saw the woman I was like, I can't believe this shit. There was a girl working in an electronics boutique. That was the first thing that was hard to believe. But really, then she was like visibly turned on by this guy, and I'm like, that's the guy that used to call him Bucky, and everybody made fun of him. And you know, now he has AIDS. It was probably worth it. So anyway, what's going to happen if somebody's already an adult and they start putting a pacifier in their mouth? It's probably going to mess up your teeth, right? I used to date a girl that got a piercing. I talked about this before. It was like, I was like, oh, our relationship's ending. She's getting a piercing. And the guy at the piercing parlor said, hey, lucky you, right? And I was like, yeah, I hope it's only me that she's getting the piercing for. And then we broke up not long after that. And it chipped the enamel off of her teeth. And she was warned when she was getting the piercing, and I'm like, why are you doing it? It's so stupid. I tried to talk her out of it. I was like, I don't want you to do this, because I liked her, and we were pretty serious, and I'm like, why? Like, you don't need that. And she's like, it's for me. And I'm like, yeah, it's like for advertising that you're gonna blow people, or what? Why you already have somebody. I'm your man. Why do you want to get your tongue pierced? Anyway, she did it, and we broke up not long afterwards. And she was a weirdie, and she behaved differently. She got her tongue pierced, and next thing you know, she's behaved differently, and she was thinking about getting a piercing where you stick like a thing. I said, it's dumb. Didn't matter, she already had her tongue pierced. And yeah, then she really did, like, you know, true story, she went around blowing a lot of people after we broke up. I heard about it. And there was a video. I was like, that's obviously her. It's a close-up of her face. And then I had to tell somebody, don't send me that shit anymore. I don't want to know. We're broke up. Why do I need to see that now? That's obviously not me. I know what my thing looks like, and that's not it. So, there's some kind of oral fixation stuff. I get wanting to quit smoking. That's what nicotine gum is for. It's about a nicotine addiction. But some people, I heard all this bullshit over the years where they wanted to quit smoking, so like, try holding and eating celery sticks and carrot sticks and stuff like that, and like a cigarette. And I'm like, that's stupid. I had to quit smoking. I quit smoking. And also, interestingly enough, the girlfriend that got the piercing, when we first started going out, I didn't smoke, and she's like, I'll quit. And she just like quit smoking, just like that, like it was nothing. So then when I quit smoking, I was like, no, I just have to quit. And then I did the first time I quit. So I'm good now. I'm done with smoking. But the idea of like having carrots is stupid. I smoke a lot of weed. Then I stopped doing that forever. And I smoked cigarettes still. Then the cigarettes started to taste bad. And then I stopped smoking cigarettes. And in between the whole time I would smoke cigars and stuff like that. It was a prop for podcasting because it looks cool. And then the comedians started smoking cigars, and I'm like, nah, this sucks now. And I had like Bill Burr, Burt Kreischer had like two assholes smoking cigars, and they were like really expensive ones, and they're like have big brown dick in their mouth. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. That's it. It's not cool. So oral fixation, daddy issues, age regression, and not like just kinky sex pervert stuff. I mean, like, there's obviously something wrong that they want to have pacifiers. And maybe it's drug related too, like this gas station weed stuff and Molly. I don't know who it is that has all the binkies, but I heard that it was mostly women, and that some of them are doing it at work. So that's obviously that SJW crowd, the extreme liberals, and they're like, you see how traumatized I am? I want everybody to know my trauma. I remember the first time I met millennials, and as soon as I was introduced, it was a woman, and as soon as we were introduced, she started telling me her whole life story and how messed up she was. And I was like, wow, this is just like, I don't even know this person, and she's telling me and it wasn't about me. She wasn't trying to impress me or to get me to date her. She was just like, oh, I guess she just tells everybody everything about her life, and how she was traumatized and what she went through. It's really, like, seriously, she just went through all the shit that she went through as a kid, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is what they do now. I know that that's not all people that are millennials or Zoomers or whatever, but that was the first time I had that experience where I met a millennial and they were wearing all their traumas as a badge of honor. And hey, probably she is traumatized by those things, but also it was kind of like, this is how you have to treat me. Don't trigger me. I'm letting you know all the shit that's wrong with me, so this is how I want you to treat me. So, you know, it was like almost threatening, you know, like, I don't know how else to put it. It's like a subtly manipulative way of threatening, like fishing for not just sympathy, but it was more like saying, like, here's how you have to walk around on eggshells around me. Nice to meet you. So I can only imagine, and that was like before we went into lockdowns, a couple years before then, probably 2 or 3 years before then. So it's probably worse now, because anything I talk about for myself, it's probably very common, and it happens to a lot of people because I'm not special and I just live in the world. Like, I don't have like I mean, this is my special world. I get curtains and an old movie theater thing, and you know, but you know, like in regular life, I'm just nothing like anybody else. So the weird shit that I encounter, which isn't, you know, all the time, it was just heartbreaking. Like I said, all these horrible, crass things, but it's terrible. Like, I hate that this is the way that things are. But it's almost like they're like when Fox News does a story about young Zoomer women are on their binkies again. It's almost like telling you, like, just shut up and put a pacifier, and you can do that now. It's gonna get, shit's gonna get real, and you should be stressed out, and here's how you do. Just shut the fuck up, and put this in your mouth. And it's not even foreplay. That's just for people who are alone. Have you heard the numbers of like people, like guys? There's like, I don't know what the numbers are, but like they're saying an increasing number of young men in their 30s haven't even had a date yet. Well, it's probably now more than ever, but they're online playing video games, and they don't know how to. People aren't talking to each other. It's one thing to make a video. It's another thing to talk to people face to face. Like I used to talk to somebody online, and then I met him in person, and the first thing we did was have sex, and then it did become a relationship, but we had talked to each other online a whole bunch, and then we met in person, and then we had sex right away. That's a terrible thing to do. I mean, I'm not with her anymore, but like sometime, like I got catfished. I'm like, hey, you don't look like that. She like showed me. It had to happen twice, where they sent pictures of what they look like when they're younger. They look a little bit different, and I'm like, okay, you don't look like that. You know, like people take a good picture of themselves looking at their best, and then when you meet them, you're like, you don't look like that. I mean, she kind of did, but then, you know, when you're with her, when I was with her, and then we took pictures together, I was like, yeah, you look better in pictures than you do in real life, but she's still good. I mean, became my girlfriend. 2 of them like that. You know, at least they looked like, you know, at least I was like, that's her, but you don't look like how you looked in your pictures. But I was okay. I still had sex with her. I remember thinking, yeah, shit, it's one of these, like, I don't know if I should be doing this again. But anyway, tit in the box in the mail. You put your thumb drive in the side. There's a hole for your thumb drive, and it can talk to you and soothe you, and it says ooh ooh to you, and it blows raspberries. You can fill it up you can put it in like a bowl of milk, and you can fill it. You can I need to relax, and you're squirting milk in your face. The next thing you know, you're gay, and it's real. You think it's love. It's rude. I don't know. I've done it. I've done it to women. I have never done that to me. I'm not pointing that thing at myself. It's gross. No, it goes that way. So it's sad, and there's, you know, like the younger, dumber, you know, corrupted, hornier part of me thought the women are sucking on pacifiers. I gotta get out there, man. That's easy, done, check. I'm gonna get blowed. But I'm not allowed to do that. I know. I don't know. I'm probably guessing at the bottom of this video, like the whole time, a disclaimer is all the things that I'm saying are not approved by God. So don't try and get blowed because there's a chick with a pacifier. I know what that means. I'm getting in there. I don't know. People are lonely. They don't know how to talk about to each other, or maybe they've just had enough. They're like, you know what? I've said too much stupid shit. I'm just gonna shut up. And it's women. You know what I mean? You think it would be great if women not all women say stupid stuff. Some of them say amazing things and talking about God and everything, and they're great, and you should marry them. But then there's also a lot of people who don't think about it, like, you know, a woman making a rash decision and just doing something without thinking about it. Well, it's very common. It's very typical. That's okay. That's how women are. Mostly. And it's not an insult. Except, well, you know, that's not a good quality, but that's one way to make yourself shut the fuck up. But you should do it you're gonna ruin your teeth. I don't know who I'm talking about, phantom women. There's like probably 3 women watching this. So anyway, I'm sorry that women are making it worse for you watching by having a pacifier instead of marrying you, and you get. I don't know that when people get married, I don't know if God wants, even if you're married to each other, I don't know if He wants do you want your wife to be a cocksucker? I'm just saying. I mean, if she was before she met you, you're like, well, no, we're married now. Forget it. You get it. Shut up. Here. No, and you throw her pacifier away. No, we're married. So, I don't know. I know that there was a guy in the Bible, I think, that God struck him dead because he kept spilling his seed on the ground and he wanted him to make babies, and he didn't do that. I forget his name, but I used to remember it. And he kept spilling his seed on the ground with his wife, and then God was like, I'm not having that. So, what is God's official stance on what the Italians call fellatio? Is that like, whatever? It sounds like Italian cuisine. You know what to have tonight, hon? I want you to make me a fellatio. String cheese in the middle, whatever. Mozzarella. Here's the mozzarella. It's heartbreaking, and I'm sorry that this video is so disgusting. But I was like, all these things are like in my brain because as of me recording this video, a lot of people are sponsoring Fume now. I remember a couple years ago when I saw like one or two people that regular like videos that I had watched were sponsoring this Fume thing, and I'm like, boy, that's stupid. But now there's a lot of people, apparently it's caught on, like people are stressed out, and they're smoking fumes. Let's talk about this. It's just flavors. Remember when the vapes came out and people were just vaping nicotine that was flavored, and there'd be a kiosk at the mall when there was still malls, and there would be like two guys had a booth and they'd make their own vape flavors, and then they said, oh, you know, that product of Israel is toxic, and then they took away all the vape flavors, like, sorry, no fun. And there was something wrong with the vape flavors. I think what the problem was really the vapes, but they said it was the flavors. Now the flavors are back, artificial flavors. Did you know, and this is true, there's videos on this, like mini documentaries. I seen them, and it was one of the most highest paying jobs in the world is to work in a lab to make artificial flavors for things. Look at how prominent in the supermarket of shit that we can't afford are artificial flavors and everything. Go down the potato chip aisle, it's $6 bags of potato chips. They have potato chip flavors of everything. They have fake flavors of everything. In the olden days, it used to be fake blueberry ices, and it didn't taste anything like a blueberry. It was just like some fake flavor they're trying to warm us up on. Hey, we made a flavor that tastes like nothing, but it's sweet. It's blue raspberry ices, but it doesn't. That's not what blueberries or raspberries taste like. And they have the artificial cherry flavor, but if you've ever eaten a cherry in your life, it doesn't taste like the fake cherry flavor. The fake banana doesn't taste like real banana. The snozberries don't taste like snoz. Well, actually, they do taste like snozberries because they're not real. So they have all these artificial flavors. Look at the bubble gum aisle, or the thing when you're checking out. Look at all the flavors of shit: mango, kiwi, tropical lime, straw, banana berry, and it's all just one pack of gum, and it's all fake. It's one of the highest paying jobs there is. It reminds me of Blade Runner. We're in the future of Blade Runner. Nobody has anything real. And when they see a real spider, it's like a rare thing. And then the replicants kill the spider. Yeah. Like, I think the future, they want us to just... Like, look, if you have a fume pen, they're artificial flavors. They're not natural flavors. And if they do have natural fume flavors, I tune out the commercials. You probably heard them just as much as I have. If they have natural flavored things in fume, it's probably gonna cost more. I saw one of the flavors in the commercials that, here, you can have cracked pepper. Why the hell do I want to smoke a cigarette that's like pepper so I can burn my tongue? Here, suck on the fumes of chili peppers. It's not really chili peppers. It's not anything, but it will burn your tongue. Here, you like menthols? I know they have that for fume. They have to, right? Here, just have menthol with no nicotine and no nothing. Just until they can get used to. Here, just have a dick in your mouth all day. Right? Is that where we're headed? It's for everybody. Here's the fume. Right in the kisser. There's a kiss for you. It's shit flavored fume. Oh, your breath's terrible. What are you eating? Shit? No, it's just the fumes. What flavor is your fume? Oh, this is one's Dutch oven. Yeah, it reminds me of when I actually had a significant other, and we dated for a month, and then they held my head under the covers when they farted, and I thought I was gonna die. Now it's like, now it's foreplay to go home to no one. I can't even afford 200 pounds of silicone. I'm gonna get one of those plush ones. You know, people do this now. They literally have like a stuffed animal that looks like a naked woman. Which is, you think that would be a no-brainer. But no, what did they have in the past? It was a piece of plastic and you had to fill it up with air. Now it's just, right? Like, they just make stuffed animal things. You put a fleshlight in. You put a fleshlight in its mouth and its asshole and in the front, right? And it looks like a anime 12-year-old girl with giant fleece tits. Heartbreaking. What are they doing to us? Isn't this disgusting? This was a novelty gift that was given to me years ago. It was one of my first YouTube videos. I said tit box because they were trying to sell us food in a box in the mail. Started out with Blue Apron. That became my sponsorship for Blue Rations, because they said they're just gonna send us rations in the mail and they're gonna have eventually drones deliver them to us, and that's if you're on welfare. And they won't make it to you. And if they, oh look, I got a box of fucking green beans in plastic. So tit box, I'll probably do more. I'll see how this video goes. Tit box, it's a tit in the box in the mail. You can rub your thing on it. You can flick your bean with it. You can pee on it. You can do all the R. Kelly. You can piss on it. You can wash it. It's easy to wash. It has no point of entry, but I'm sure you can make one. You can make one. You can open up the urethra of the areola or whatever they call that. You can put your thing in there, your micro pee-pee. That's what they do in China. How can they be wrong? There's like 4 billion Chinese people, or they lie about however many there are. They lie probably, right? How could they be wrong? I don't know. It's hard for them to be wrong. They have micro pee-pees. How I make wrong? How I make it wrong? Stretch it. Tie a cinder block to it and hang from the porch. Hang. Whatever. What the joking? I don't know. Play with it more. That's. Didn't you ever hear that joke? Never mind. I'm not gonna say that one. Okay. So. It's sad. Pacifiers, and they're expensive. One of the videos that I saw, they said that there was 72. This one's $72. $72 pacifier, and then whatever it costs to ship probably cheap shipping from China or whatever. And you can just, who needs hormones? You just suck on plastic. It makes you gay and effeminizes you. Beer's too expensive. That's an old-fashioned way to get effeminized. You drink beer. Now you just gotta have a nunny, have a pacifier in your mouth all the time. Aha! And the buzzer going off means you know that it's true. And it's sad. And it's lame. How did they get, like, what did they, like, honestly, I'm asking you this now. Please comment and like and subscribe and ring the bell and powder my balls and get notified and then resubscribe when I unsubscribe you. How did they get the women to do this? Like, what the hell's wrong with them? I mean, to me, when I say women, but to me they're kids, I'm so old, but it's like, how did they get young people in their 20s to go back to a pacifier? That's the Zoomers, right? And in Alpha and Beta, they can't read and they shit themselves at school. And like, I don't want a diaper change. I'm on my phone. I'm on my tablet. I don't want to learn how to read. Get out of here. I'm shitting myself right now. And the teachers, they don't have the rights to do anything. They have to just let them do that. The litter box is over there, Calvin. And it's a little girl. That's what's sad. And they can't wipe themselves either. They're making an app for that. You just sit on your phone and it burns the shits off, and then you hold it to your mouth and you have toxoplasmosis because you're petting your cat. Whatever. Whatever. It's sad. Cats, toxoplasmosis, wine, gas station vapes, pacifier, the nastiest porn. That's your wife. You're gonna marry her. This is gonna it's the coping mechanism. It's so sad. I mean, I'm joking about it, but that it's a news story. One, when you see shit like that on Fox News, they're kind of advertising like, hey, maybe you would like to have a pacifier. You could sit on it, you could put it in your mouth, find out, hey, I didn't know I would like that. Well, you know, I sat on it, I was watching YouTube video, not me. You're watching, not you, but you know what I mean, people were making fun of. Sit down, I'm like, hey, they, not me, they accidentally sat down in a pacifier, and then they was like, oh no, I gotta wash it off, and they forgot about it, and then I'm like, what's that? Oh yeah, it's my own shits. And then you find out another thing about yourself that you didn't know before. Straight down into hell. All of this. People are lonely. It has to be about loneliness, and like, is that, I mean, I think we're tough. I don't know you. I don't know all the people in the world. There's too many of them. But I think we're tougher than this. I think this is part of the people are doing it. I think we're being propagandized to get bad ideas. And there's something about how our content, how looking at our phone is hypnotizing people. The old TVs, the cathode rays, they used to put people in, it was called, the word for it was called hypnagogic trance. So you will watch TV and like, why am I watching this stupid shit? There's only 25 channels. The internet hasn't even been invented yet. Why? There's nothing on. Why do I keep changing channels? Like, why can't I? There's nothing on. Can't I just turn the TV off? No, they couldn't, because watching the old picture tube would put them in a hypnagogic trance. I don't know what the word for it is now, but I've seen the brain scans. Again, I've seen the brain scans of the 1990s club kids where they have dead parts of their brain. They call it holes in their brain. I think their brains are actually being eaten away or something as well. Well, I've seen the brain scans of people addicted to pornography, people addicted to gaming, people addicted to both, people that are chronics, that are smokers of pot, and their brains are going dead. A lot of people do all of these things, and that's being online all the time. The internet is ruining our lives, and it's ruining us. And go look up the brain scans of all those things I just mentioned, and you will see like shit. And THC, if you're like a weed smoker guy, or even if it's gas station weed, it stays in your brain for a month. Now they have this stuff called nanotized THC. What does that do to your brain? How long does that stay in there? It's nanotized. That's not good. And I saw the bag. It said nanotized THC gummies. This is gas station stuff, and you can just buy it. Like, you don't need a card or anything. And the bag, the brand was called Modus, like modus operandi, and the whole bag was covered in red shiny scales, and the mascot is a snake with its mouth open and a hissing tongue. Modus nanotized gummies with it's got a serpent right on the bag. Come on. That's great. And they're nanotized, whatever that means. Believe it. That's the future they promised us, that everyone would be high all the time. That's what they call it. They say Netflix and chill right now. They're gonna say Netflix and pills, because the CEO of Netflix invested lots and lots of money, so much money that it raised eyebrows, and he was interviewed and questioned about it. Why'd you invest so much money in smell-o-vision? And then you will say, what's smell-o-vision? You gotta scratch a card? No, he said that the future of Netflix is you're gonna watch Netflix and take pills, and you'll be able to smell what you're watching. What, like a comedy special? Hey, it smells like smells like body odor, like stinks. That's what Netflix is gonna smell. What are you watching? Oh, it smells like copper. It's a horror movie and everybody's dying and I can smell the blood. It smells like, now I know what viscera smells like. There's a pill for that. It's the pill that I take to watch Netflix. Smell. What's anime smell like? What's Netflix anime? What's Demon Slayer? What's that show called? Everybody watched on their lockdowns. You sit there with a pacifier. They have pacifiers with drugs on them. You dip it in your CBD, and then you just have filled pacifier with, oh, it's fume. It's the cum flavored. Whatever. It's hard. Look at what they're doing. They're not giving us anything. It's a flavor. It's not even nourishment. It's probably gonna destroy people's salivary glands, because like they're like, what's gonna happen in the future with fume? Because they did the vape flavors and they took them away. I don't know why. I didn't vape nicotine flavors. I had it once. I had Ecto Cooler vape, and I was like, wow, it tastes like orange juice or something. And it was based on Ghostbusters. Then I had blueberry cheesecake, and I was like, wow, this is, I guess, like blueberry cheesecake, because they told me that's what it was. And then I didn't care. And one time I had a cherry nicotine vape pen, like smoking cherry tobacco cigars, and it just made me feel like I drank too much coffee, and I got jittery and spastic. It was like too much caffeine. Or nicotine, rather. But it felt like caffeine. And I was like, yeah, this sucks. It made my tongue burn. So I think I was smoking the wrong end. So it worked. What are they doing to us? So fume. My predictions for fume. You're going to find out that it activates the thing that makes you salivate and the thing that makes you digest food, because you're breathing in something. You're breathing in vapor that's not even nicotine, because nicotine suppresses appetite, right? But if you're just breathing in fumes of like food, then probably the juices for digestion are going to activate. Like when people chew gum, like chewing too much gum stimulates your digestive process, and then it can wreck it. So that's one of the pitfalls of chewing too much bubble gum, is it stimulates your salivary enzymes, and you can like deplete them or whatever if you chew gum all the time or whatever. But unless you're looks maxing, you have to do your mewing, chewing gum erasers or whatever. So I think that's probably what fume's gonna do to us. Maybe not you or me, but probably what fume is going to do is going to mess up people's digestion, because it's going to activate stuff in your body. It makes you think you're getting food, but you're not getting anything. So it fits right in. Like when I think about who likes fume, it makes me think of communism, socialism, Marxism stuff. I guess there's only so much Red Bull you can drink, and there's all like Celsius. I was like, what's with all these Celsius cans? And they're like, oh, it has like a lot of caffeine in it. And like the recommended daily allowance of Celsius drinks, if you know what that is. Or tonic water, all this bullshit tonic water. I hate all this stuff. Like whatever. Look what they're doing to us. And the younger that the people are, the more vulnerable they are to being fooled by this stuff. Because they grew up in a world where like, here, have this, and everybody tells them how great it is, or at least there's enough people that will tell them how great it is. But if you're old, we didn't have any of this shit, so like, I don't need that. And who can afford this shit? I don't know. That's heartbreaking and crazy making. You want your nunny? Who needs the woman, right? If you have the tit on one side and a hole on the other side, you're done. You put an eyelash on it. You got it all. One single eye. Oh, you have a great, beautiful eye. Have a leg coming out of it. Whatever. I don't know. It's. I guess what else am I supposed to say? I'm sorry for what I did to you by watching this video to the end. I should end it now, and I have to end it with this, even though the whole rest of the video is just botched. But it's Planet Daddy issue down here. whatever they invent to give us, to distract us, to tell us to just shut up and put this in your mouth or whatever. We have access to the most advanced technology that's ever going to be available to mankind ever, and that is a direct line and access to the creator and maker of all things. This is prayer to God. So it's Planet Daddy Issue down here, as I always say. If I had a t-shirt, it would say Planet Daddy Issue, call your father, and the only people who would buy it would be gay dudes that have no idea what my show is, probably. So, or people that are into that daddy dom stuff or whatever. Women are into it. They don't know what it's like to have a dad, so they think it has to do with, I don't know, maybe that's why they're like, you know what, they're tired of daddy dom, and they're just going to have a pacifier and shit themselves at home and have cats and drink wine through a pacifier, whatever, with a straw, and stay out of trouble. But, you know, that's not a problem for you. So it's Planet Daddy Issue down here. Call your father who art in heaven. Amen to that. And his name is Jesus. Just say Jesus. Just say it. Say thank you, Jesus. At least I'm not as messed up as the people that I talked about in this video. Yeah. I gotta end it. Don't put shit in your mouth.